Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Bandai ThunderCats 4-inch scale Mumm-Ra the Ever Living. This actually marks the third version of Mumm-Ra in the 4-inch scale line, but the second version of him in the basic figure series. Mumm-Ra the Ever Living comes packaged on the standard ThunderCats blister card, complete with some really awesome artwork of Mumm-Ra up in the upper left-hand corner. The back of that package gives us a look at the figure along with a brief bio, and shows off some of the other figures available in the 4-inch ThunderCats lineup. This, of course, is Mumm-Ra the Ever Living, the souped-up version of Mumm-Ra. We've already received the mummy version in the first wave, and in the deluxe line there was a Mumm-Ra the Ever Living, but it had the big, huge bat wings that were open. So this gives you a little bit of a variety where if you don't want to display them with the giant bat wings, this version may be the one for you. Now you can see standing them side by side with that one, the actual sculpt of the figure is very similar, so there's not a whole lot of difference here. This figure does have these smaller wings, and they're tucked in and stuck to the back. Those are removable if you'd like to. There's a small peg, and it just covers up his little square Thunderlinks magnet on his back. So if you'd like to, you can actually pop those wings off, and then you can display him without the wings. Now, the design of the figure is pretty much in line with what we've seen of the character in the show. He's got a very small head with a large hulking body with really long arms, and then short, little, skinny legs. That's not really a complaint by any means, because again, that's how the figure or the character looks in the actual show. But one thing that I do feel like noting is that it does make him a little top-heavy, and unfortunately these figures don't come with figure stands, so you kind of have to play around with him a little bit to balance him since he's got those huge arms and the larger upper body. The sculpt of the figure is pretty nice though, and the paint job isn't overly detailed, but it does its job, and he does look very nice, like he's right out of the cartoon series. Now, as far as articulation goes, it's pretty standard for this lineup here. The head, unfortunately, does not turn very well because of the bandages and everything wrapped around his neck and his head. With a little bit of work, you can get it to turn left and right, though. He's got ball hinge joints on the shoulders, allowing for a full 360 degrees turn, plus a bicep swivel. He's got a single joint at the elbow, and he does have wrist swivels, however they are further up on his forearms and not actually at the wrist, which is a little awkward. He does not have a waist swivel or anything like that, but he does have ball joints in the thighs, allowing for a good range of movement. He has double jointed knees and a swivel at the boot cut. So he actually does have better articulation than figures like Claudius, and it works out pretty well for this figure. Now, here's one thing I do feel like I need to point out, because it's kind of funny. The front piece of Mumm-Ra's loincloth is actually attached via a peg, and when you're moving the legs around, it does have a tendency to pop off, just kind of showing the world Mumm-Ra's goods. So, there you go. Put some pants on, bro. Now, as an accessory, Mumm-Ra the Ever Living does include the Sword of Plundar. It is made of that same really gummy plastic that we've seen all the weapons in this line come with, so it's real soft and bendy. It is really nice looking though, because it's kind of a shiny metallic silver paint on there. This figure does have the same problem that a lot of the figures in this lineup seem to have though. His hands are wide open, so he doesn't really hold the sword very well. There's a spot in between his thumb and his palm of his hand where you can kind of squeeze the handle of the sword in there and get him to hold it, but it looks really goofy, and he just doesn't get a very good grip on it, unfortunately. So there you go, guys. There's a look at Mumm-Ra the Ever Living. It's actually a pretty nice figure, and I do prefer this one over the deluxe one that came out, just because he doesn't have those really large wings that make him even harder to stand up than he already is. Mumm-Ra the Ever Living is actually in stores now, and he's pretty easy to come across, so happy hunting, and until next time.